Did you know that the U.S. tax code wants you to be a trust fund baby? My name is Paul Vasquez with Tax Lab. We help people become ethical millionaires. The tax code wants you to be a trust fund baby. How do I know this? Because it will give you tax breaks if you are. So what is a trust fund baby? A trust fund baby is somebody who just lives off of the interest of their vast pool of resources, that it's just pulling in money for them, and they don't have to, they don't have to work any labor for their upkeep. And the U.S. tax code rewards trust fund babies. Unfair, you say, but it's trying to help you be a trust fund baby too. The IRS has a preferred tax rate for long-term capital gains. So, a trust fund baby has no earned income. They just operate off of the capital gains of the investments. If they're long-term capital gains and they were a single trust fund baby in the year 2025, they could make up to $47,025 a year in long-term capital gains, and their tax rate is 0. You try that with earned income and you're up to a 12% tax bracket in 2025. Now let's say you and your spouse are able to put all that money away and live off of the growth, those long-term capital gains of your investment portfolio. What does that mean? It means that you could live off of $94,050 in 2025 and your tax rate is 0. If you're head of household, maybe you've got some little bambinos of your own running around, $63,000 for somebody who's raising children on $63,000. Could you do it? Could you live as a single person off of just $47,000? Might be a little tight, but guess what? You're living the easy life, right? You're paying 0 in taxes, and you're just reaping in those long-term capital gains. If you're married filing jointly, $94,000. Could you and your spouse live comfortably off $94,000? Head of household, $63,000. Might be tight, but depending on the number of kids, maybe you could do all right with that, living off that. I think there are plenty of Americans who are having earned income in those levels and still surviving, maybe not to the extent that you would like, but it's still possible. So the U.S. tax code incentivizes you. It puts this out there for everybody. This isn't just available to trust fund babies alone. You can make yourself a trust fund baby by saving and investing, by converting your earned income into areas where you invest that money into long-term capital gains. You begin to reclassify the type of income that you're living off of. So you want to do your best to save and invest as much as you can. Is it smart to save and invest? You know it is. You know it is. The U.S. tax code incentivizes you to do the smart thing. It will reward you with a lower tax code if you can convert some of those assets into some of those earnings into long-term capital gains, as opposed to working yourself to death your whole life. Might it mean you do a little bit extra sacrifice? You can't maybe rely on somebody else to turn you into a trust fund baby. You can't rely maybe on the sacrifices of past generations to turn you into a trust fund baby. You have to rely on you. You are the one who's going to turn you into a trust fund baby, and the IRS tax code wants you to. They want you to do that. They're incentivizing you to do that. The tax rates on capital gains is less. Long-term capital gains is less than earned income. In fact, you can start getting taxed, of course. There's tax levels after that where it goes up to 15, 20, and even 20, possibly 28%, but that's still lower than the highest tax bracket on earned income. What is that telling you? That it's smart to save and invest. It's smart to make those sacrifices today to turn yourself into a trust fund baby, because you could be paying nothing in taxes. And of course, it's always better to earn more money and not save on taxes than it is to save on taxes and not earn that money, because whatever tax rate you're at, whether it's 10, 12, 22, 33, whatever tax bracket you're at, you're keeping the other part of that money. So it's better to have 70 cents of a dollar than no dollar at all. So tax code wants you to be a trust fund baby. If somebody didn't do it for you, it's up to you to make it happen. Tax Lab can help. We can design a plan just for you. Go to Advisory Services, get a free 15-minute introductory phone call, so that way you can see and we can see if you're the person who's ready to become and get on that path to become an ethical millionaire.